Time for the BA Breakdown here on the KRMG Evening News, where we check in live with the city manager in Broken Arrow. And Michael Spurgeon is said city manager. He joins us live. Good evening, Michael.
What's happening, Skyler? How you doing, my friend? Hopefully you're having a good start to your week.
I am. I got to sleep in a little bit today after a very early morning yesterday. So that it kind of feels like a Monday on a Tuesday, honestly. There's a lot going on in BA. So let's start with something that happened last week. We covered it here on the KRMG Evening News, but I haven't had a chance to talk to you since. And that is those the trash workers, the sanitation workers who basically saved a woman. She was trying to get her trash outside, and she had to take her oxygen off, and she ended up collapsing on her way outside with the trash. And these guys jumped into action. They're basically heroes. And I have a feeling you have a thing or two to say about it.
Well, I certainly do. I found out from trash or solid waste and recycling director Jerry Schuber about the outstanding efforts of some of our employees, and they're going to be recognized tonight. And just to let the community know is that on March 14th, that we had a customer that has to use oxygen, and she saw the truck coming and decided to get her cart down to the curb. So she took her oxygen off, and unfortunately, by the time she got the cart down there and started to walk back to her house, she ran out of oxygen, unfortunately. And the quick work of three of our employees, basically, we were able to get her back into her house, back in her oxygen, and I think had a lot to do with help saving her life. And those folks that went above and beyond for helping this customer are going to be recognized by the city council last night. And, I just want to mention one gentleman's name is Gavin Drill. The other one is DeMichael Roseberg. And then we have a gentleman named Josh Moderno that is basically our heroes. They are heroes. And I couldn't be happier to be recognizing them for their outstanding efforts and going above and beyond.
That's cool. I'm glad they're getting some further public recognition. Kudos to them. Something else that we want to talk about is a project by the high school. And I imagine the timing here is intentional. There's a road project that's going to start right by Broken Arrow High School. Very busy spot, but we're coming up on close to the end of the school year. So I assume that's why this is happening now. Can you tell us about that project?
Well, when it comes to road projects anywhere in town, especially in front of schools, quite frankly, there's been some criticism of the city, and I just want to address it. There's no perfect time to start a one-year road project when it comes to widening a road, especially in front of a school. And we decided to start at this time because the major focus right now is going to be the intersection of County Line Road and Albany. And we wanted to start just before school is out, so that will give the contractor essentially the entire summer to get those improvements done. So whenever the kids come back to school in August, that intersection will be open, because while it's closed, there's going to be no left turns. And so that's the critical point. But what we're going to be doing is widening that road, Albany, from County Line to Lynn Lane. This is about a $9 million project that's being funded with city funds and also with the federal transportation fund. So we're going to be widening the road in front of 3 schools to 5 lanes. It's going to be a major improvement to our city, and I'm so happy that we're going to get started. And we just ask everyone to be patient, because obviously when there's orange cones, it requires a little bit of inconvenience, but we'll move as quickly as possible, and we're going to have an amazing area once we finish up about this time next year. That
starts on Monday, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so just be prepared for that as you're heading through Albany and County Line Road. Something else is kind of neat. We talked about this months ago when it was coming, but now it's here. I haven't driven through to personally see it, but I see pictures that there's some new signs to help folks get through the Rose District.
Absolutely. We've been working on an initiative, and we've taken our time because we wanted to be very methodical in how we do this. Is that we are currently, the Parks Department is installing Rose District wayfinding signage. There are so many exciting activities and events and sites that people coming to our community, that live in our community, have an opportunity to go to, from our Military History Museum, the Performing Arts. We also have all of our businesses downtown, the restaurants, all of our retail, commercial. Plus, there's so many other opportunities to come and have a great quality of life in our city. So we're putting up wayfinding signs to help folks identify where those are, especially so many people are coming to town now that may not be familiar exactly where they're located. So we want to point those out. Also, we want to point out where our parking is, because, as you know, Skyler, when it comes to downtown, people like to park very close to the business that they're going to. And you just can't always do that like you can with a Walmart or a Target, where you have to park a little bit further. So we want to make sure folks know about the 900 spaces that we have in the Rose District. So this is going to be some amazing signage. And I just give kudos to Charlie Bright and the Engineering Construction Department, and also Brent Brassfield who's our downtown coordinator, to make sure that we came up with something that's unique and does exactly what we want, is points people in the right direction to get to where they want to go.
Hey, we're pretty much out of time here. We got to move on, but I wanted to mention one last thing. I know I've been on your case a lot about Aspen Ridge and the fact that Reese's is going in there, and I'm always asking you who else is going. Well, I saw an announcement on Facebook, so now we know one of the others, Chipotle, right?
Yes, Chipotle's coming. Also, Come and Go is coming. We also have coffee, and I could tell you we're just waiting. There's going to be some apartments that are going to be built there, approximately 200 luxury type apartments. I understand that Research is actually supposed to break ground at the end of April or early May. They just need to get their final approval so they can begin the construction, and then we'll start making some announcements. And we're super excited about the leasing opportunities that we understand are going to happen. So there's more to come. I just ask everybody to be a little bit more patient, because in a couple of years, actually, that south part of our community, because we spent so much effort down there, is going to look very similar to other parts of our town, where everyone will have those opportunities to shop in their neighborhood.
Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon live on KRMG. We'll talk next week.
Take care, Skylar.